Hey guys, it is Nicholas here, aka Matthijs on Headphone, and today I'm just going to do a quick unboxing of the Cayin i5. So here is the front of the box. I like it. Never be the same again. I guess because they switched and they made an Android DAP instead of their usual Hy-Vee powered DAPs. So this is just an outer sleeve. And you can see here, it just says i5. It's got some Chinese text. Flip it over. And on the back, it's a little bit shiny. Hopefully you can see this. So, Cayin i5, portable lossless music player, gives you the dimensions, and we'll get it out and I'll show you what it looks like in my hand in a minute. The weight, so 195 grams. And tells you a little bit about it. It's got the AKM DAC in it, the AK4490. I like that. I've got it in some other DAPs, and I quite like it. Tells you about the volume control. It's got the oscillators it uses, the RAM it uses. It's USB 3 via a USB-C connector. You can play DSD up to 128, DSC 128, FLAC, WAVE, MP3, whatever you want to throw at this thing. Basically, it's going to play it, except for, these crazy, super high resolution DSD files. It just goes up to 128. None of the music I listen to is even in DSC 64, really, so it doesn't bug me. It's got Wi-Fi, it's got Bluetooth, and it takes micro SD cards, just one of them. Okay, and that is basically it for the box. I think the only other thing is on one side. It says i5 portable music player. So let's just flip it back around here, and we'll slide it on out of the case. There we go. And let's pull it down a little bit so it's easier to see. Great. This is basically the same type of box that the N5 and N6 came in, and also the C5 and C5 DAC, which I've used too. Cayin has a little sound wave logo on it. Let's get rid of that. And there it is. There is the i5 nestled in there. I've taken off just the protective screen cover that Cayin puts on it because I've already used this and it's been out on tour. I'm the last person on the tour for this particular one, and I'm waiting for one more thing from Cayin to arrive pretty soon before I send this back, and I'll bundle it all together. So here we go. You pull it out, and you can see what it looks like in my hand here. Nice little guy. I'm going to set this aside and we'll come back to it in just a little bit. Okay, and you've got your basic foam insert, pop that out, and you've got a little box inside, which is pretty typical these days. Pull that out, and the side I've already opened. Let's grab that one so I don't destroy the box any further, and slip out the goodies in there one by one. So you get a USB cable, of course, to charge it with and for data transfer, and it has a USB-C connection. So that all makes sense. Make sure I'm still on the screen here. Okay, and what else do you get? You get if you have some micro USB cables around, they threw in a USB-C adapter. I thought that was actually pretty cool. That's nice of them. It comes with a little fake micro SD card in it. I guess just to protect the slot if you're not using an SD card. I don't know that many people would use that. Once you pull it out, you probably just put it back in the little box. I've already got screen covers on, but it comes with some extra screen covers. So it's got screen covers not only for the front, here are a couple for the front, it also has one for the back. An extra for the back. It came with a couple. So it's got one on the back now, and it has an extra. That was nice. It's got It's got a QC. It passed QC. Great. Thank you for doing some QA QC on it. It's got what looks like a Chinese warranty card. Honestly, not very helpful for those of us outside of China, but it's there. Actually, I'll just throw that out of the way. Not useful. And maybe I'll get this stuff out of the way too. And you've got a manual. And the manual comes in, has Chinese first. But once you scroll through a little bit, you get to the English section. And what do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 pages of instructions. Okay, fantastic. Everything from how to start it up, where the various controls are, to how to put on, where Google Play, installing apps, etc. And specs. There are a bunch of specs on here. I'm hoping you guys can see it. It's not too glaring. If you want to, and you can read it okay on there, you could pause and take a look over all of these specs if you want to. I don't know that I am going to go over all of them. I think I'll actually pause now, and I'll come back with the i5 and show you a little bit more of just the main i5 and where everything is on it. So I'll be back in just a sec. Alright, I'm back. So here it is, the Cayin i5. On the front face you have, of course, the display. And it's a pretty good display. It's a little on the cool side, but that's okay. And you've got the one capacitive button. Basically that's your home button. And I actually made another video where I show the user interface. And I'll upload both of those. And one thing I pointed out there is my phone has capacitive buttons for the all apps and back. I at least wish they had a capacitive back button so you didn't have to rely on soft buttons on the screen to go back. And they change places depending upon which app you're in, and that's a little bit annoying to me. So if I were moving into the future here, Cayin, I would put a back button on here. In any case, you can get to the back button, LCD screen, and then there is the volume knob. And the volume knob, you can see me spinning it here, and it has good tactile feel to it. It's just stiff enough. I mean, it's smooth, but it's got some stiffness to it, so you're not going to accidentally change the volume. And when you're changing it, it doesn't go too quickly. So I really like that implementation of the volume knob. And if we look at the left side, similar to the N5 and the N6, Cayin always likes to put their own a little bit of flair design into it. So you can see it's got a little bit of this inset scroll work, and this is the power knob, and it might be a little hard to see here, but it does have the power icon on it. Let's go over to the back. Here's the back. Cayin, basic info. This is a carbon fiber panel just to lighten it up a little bit so it's not all aluminum, and a plastic strip along the bottom where the radios are, or the antenna are, so that way you have better transmission. On the right side, pull it down a little bit, you have, again, a little bit of that design flair from Cayin. You've got the TF card slot. You've got play pause. Again, the play pause is on there. It's just in a very low contrast paint, so it's probably hard for you guys to see it. You've got a fast forward, and you have rewind. And again, I pointed this out in the other video. A user just pointed out on the forums, and I didn't even pay attention to this, so kudos to them for being meticulous. The play arrow is facing up, and the rewind arrows are also facing up. So he thought, why don't you turn the play pause button around, and that way the arrow will be facing in the same way as the fast forward button, or flip flop the fast forward button and the rewind buttons in a firmware update. I don't know that they're actually going to listen to that or do it. It does make sense to have the arrows aligned in the proper direction though. And then, I don't know if you can see it as well, but there are some markings here to indicate that the volume gets louder as you rotate the scroll wheel in this sort of fashion. So if you rotate it in a clockwise fashion, it gets louder. Rotate it counterclockwise here from the side, and it will get quieter. So those are the two sides. And if we take a look at the bottom of the unit, again, basically all you have is you have that plastic insert for the radios, and you have the the USB-C jack right there for charging and data transfer. And then up at the top, inset into the player, which is nice. You've got line out over here on the left, and on the right you have the headphone jack. And there's no balanced on here, it's just line out 3.5 millimeters and a 3.5 millimeter single-ended output. And I know the 2.5 millimeter balanced output is kind of the flavor of the month right now. It seems like everybody's putting them in their DAPs. Cayin chose not to do that in this DAP, and that's okay. So, that is a basic unboxing and an overview of just the hardware. And again, I'm uploading another video that will go over more of that software component, so you can see how responsive it is, how long it takes to boot up, how long it takes to scan a card, how to skip songs, how to scrub through songs, how to navigate the menu, how to get to third-party apps, etc. So, with that, I'm going to take off. I'm going to go do a little editing on those videos and upload them. And I wanted to thank you for watching. And until next time, happy listening. Alright, bye-bye.